Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Podcast. What number? What number do we got?
146.
146 episodes. This week will be a little bit different.
Why, Joel?
Yeah, typically what we do, you guys, if you're not familiar with the show, is we have a guest on. They're a musical artist, and we just kind of shoot the shit with them and hang out with them. This week's a little bit different. We have been rescheduling, revamping things. It's been a great year, I think. Everything seems to be growing. Business is growing. Podcast is growing.
Moosefest is growing.
Moosefest is growing. It's hilarious. It's not hilarious, but I find it funny how people are still figuring out who we are and what we do. Yeah. I freaking love it, man. They're like, so what is Funky Moose Records anyway? So, that being said, I figured we could dive into that kind of stuff in today's episode. For those of you who are not familiar, we're going to try and lay it all out for you and things we've got coming up and going on, a little recap of
who we are, what we do.
Of the year.
What the plan is.
So, let's lead out with Mark. Why don't you inform the viewers / listeners what is Funky Moose Records?
Okay, so normally when you and I are together at some event and whatever, and people are asking who we are, I usually introduce ourselves as, I'm the owner of Funky Moose Records, Joel is the president of Moosefest, and together we do the Sit Down Podcast.
Right.
So Funky Moose Records is an online record store. We sell records. And things like cleaning supplies for your records, storage solutions like sleeves, sleeves, mostly. We do new and used records. So the new ones come from a distributor, like Universal, Warner, Sony. We also support local artists. So we have quite a few records that are from local artists, and local, I mean Canadian. And then the used records, it's just a buy and sell type of thing where we scour the internet for collections. We don't cherry pick. We just buy whole collections, and we put those on the website.
Yeah. Which, if you have watched episodes in the past, I'm always making reference to like 10,000 records that are in my view.
Yeah.
That's where those come into play.
We never actually counted them, but it's probably around.
I'm not going to count them neither. There's been some new things going on with Funky Moose Records in the last month too. Did you just you've hired a couple other people lately, have you not?
Yeah, people keep telling me that when you're a business owner, you should work on your business, not in your business. So I've been kind of stepping back a little bit from the day-to-day stuff, like adding records to the website and things like that. And we try to automate as much as possible. So we're working on an app right now that's going to be huge. So I'm going to say within a month or so, we're going to expand the new records catalog by about 10,000 records. And this is all due to the fact that we're going to be synchronizing with our supplier more frequently, and it's going to automatically import new titles from their inventory into ours. So right now it's a manual process. We get Excel sheets with new releases, and then we add them manually. So I have someone doing that, adding those records manually to the website. But one person just simply can't keep up with the new releases that are coming out.
Yeah.
So I've been racking my brain about this, like how to do this more efficiently. So automation is everything. That doesn't mean that the person that's adding records right now is going to be out of a job. Her job is just going to change a little bit, where she's going to
Like be monitoring it maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and make sure that the descriptions that are there actually make sense.
Right.
So that's one, and I just hired someone that. So I will probably be doing the purchasing of used records still, but I hired someone to actually add them to the website.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up too. Like I was saying before, this has been an awesome year. I'm shocked that we're near the bitter end of it.
Yeah, things have happened. Like I think coming out of COVID, not that COVID doesn't exist anymore, but coming out of the pandemic, everything opened up a little bit, and that's what it felt like. Everything opened up a little bit.
Yeah.
Where we get to meet people face to face that we've only met on the podcast, for example.
We started the show a couple months before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like I believe we were 8 or 12 episodes in when everything shut down.
Yep. And yeah, so now when did everything kind of started opening up? Was it May of this year ish?
I couldn't answer that question because I'm such a hermit where I'm not saying that it didn't affect me, but it kind of didn't really affect me.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention because you didn't have to.
It was like, so I had to wear a mask when I went to the grocery store. That's like really the only thing that changed for me in my life. Yeah. And then, sending my son to school with a mask and like that kind of stuff, dealing with the school stuff. Outside of that, it's same.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it also meant that we did get to go to live shows again, which we did quite a bit. We were able to organize Moose Fest again, which was great. And through these live shows, we met more and more people.
Yeah, for sure. On the quick topic of Moose Fest 2023, I'm just going to put it out there that we're currently booked. It's booked already. We're not taking any other... Well, you could submit if you're a band out there listening and you want to try and get in on Moose Fest. Like, we're not... Moose Fest isn't a thing where you have to audition for it. Essentially, the way that we've done it the past 2 years in a row, 3 years, is it's the people that we get to know. We are basically concert goers. We go out there, we see artists that we enjoy, that we like, get you on the podcast, hang out with you, feel you out a little bit more, and then it kind of evolves from there. And if there's like that good connection between us, we basically just ask you to come and play Moose Fest. So just for those of you out there who are curious about how do we get on Moose Fest's bill,
just talk to us.
Yeah, talk to us. If we've seen you live, that's a check mark in that box is checked.
Good start.
And if you've been on the podcast, that's another check mark right there. So those are probably your best 2 ways.
There are some other criteria. I mean,
yeah, well, you have to be good people for sure. I'm not going to put some shady people out there just because they're a draw. It's legitimately bands and artists that Mark and I both respect and admire and like listening to your music. That's really all that is. Sorry for the interruption, you guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about Muse Canada. They're a new arts and entertainment media connection and support network. Skip the algorithms of social media and connect with other entertainment professionals across Canada. Sign up today for $5 a month or use the promo code FunkyMoose2021 for 10% off. That is FUNKYMOOSE2021 for 10% off. Back to the show. Talking about meeting artists and stuff, we also, in this month here coming up, December, there's no official date at this point in time. There's 2 possibilities, but if you haven't already heard, because there hasn't been an announcement, that Mark and I are going to be the new hosts of the open stage at the Capitol Tuesday nights. So we're very excited about that opportunity to take over. And
for those of you not in the Saskatoon area, the Capitol is a music club in
Right.
Saskatoon. And it's been our go-to venue.
Dude, that's one of my favorite venues
Yeah.
in the city. I
It's
think
like-
the Patreons there are
Patrons.
Yeah, Patreons. Did I say it again? The patrons there are great. The awesome people
Yep.
there. I've always had an awesome time. I've seen amazing artists perform there, and got to know a lot of you through that venue. So I'm a big fan of the Capitol.
Yep.
So when we had the opportunity to take over as hosts, not saying that we go to open mics every Tuesday night, but we sure have been lately. Yeah, it's just a great chance. I'm excited for it. There will be changes. I cannot stress this enough. We don't want to go in there and like rustle feathers out or any of that. We don't want to piss anybody off. We want to show as much respect to the venue and the people there, the crowd,
Yep.
as possible. But there will be changes.
Yeah, and it's
And I
not,
kind of want to talk about some of the ideas we've got. We can give these people a heads up on what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear any feedback, any suggestions. So far, everyone that we've talked to have been super supportive.
Yep.
And you know that feels good. So I want to thank you guys for that. We are coming into this new. We haven't done anything like this before. So we're going to give it an honest go and do our best.
I think also a good thing. Like, we haven't done this before, so maybe our ideas are a little out of the box, which means change. But like you said, we're not going to come in and say, okay, this is our show now. This is how we're going to run it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still for the people that are there and the artists to highlight them. It's not about us.
Yeah. Not
just
at all.
just like this podcast, not about us.
Yeah.
So
Except for this episode.
except this one, yeah.
3 years in, now there's an episode about us.
Yeah. So we do have a few ideas that we could change. We don't want the open stage to be the open stage it is now. Although it'll be mostly the same, but with
Well,
some advanced features.
well, let's talk
call it
about
that.
some of the things that we know are going to be the same.
Yeah. So we're probably going to keep it, the 20-minute sets that are there now.
Yeah, three song
Three
max
songs
or
or
20
20
minutes, whichever one comes first.
And if you're a new artist, we'd like you to do 2 just in case.
Two what? Two songs?
2 songs.
Why? What if they got 3?
You haven't been paying attention, huh?
Well, I just don't think that that's
new artists get 2 songs.
Okay, you heard it here first. I'm gonna change that. I say
That's-
they get 20 minutes, dude.
That's what it is now, and that'll likely change. But
Right.
that's
That's kind of, well, yeah. Just so that you guys are fully aware, that's like where our heads are at. We want to keep it 20 minutes, 3 song max.
Yeah.
And
it
then,
simple.
that includes your setup time too. So if you get up there, it takes you 5 minutes to get tuned in and everything, you're down to 15 minutes. So if you can't squeeze that third song in, sorry. It's not like we're going to have a freaking blowhorn there and time's up mid-song. Like, get off to, it's not going to be like that.
But we will have a timer on screen.
Yes, there will be a big countdown so that you're fully aware of what's going on.
Just to reiterate, these are all ideas.
Yeah, yes. These are all the things that we're working on right now. If you're familiar with the venue, there's like kind of like a little corner area left of the stage when you're facing it. I believe Mark and I we're planning on setting up there so that we can run the projector screens where we will be promoting like the sponsors, which we have a couple in place right now. So those will be advertised there. And then on the other one, your countdown clock. And one idea I had is like if a new artist is coming up there, like if you guys want to give us your, maybe your Instagram handle or something, we can put that up on the screen as well as you're on stage so that people who might not have heard who you are, but while you're going up on stage, they're not like, who's that on stage again? Your information is right there for everyone to see is an idea, right?
I did notice that every time we're there, 9 out of 10 times I miss who's on stage.
The name
Like,
of the artist.
Great show, but I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So we have to go up and ask who they are. So with the screens, we're gonna have your name up there, and and your contact info.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so that also, an idea that we're definitely going to try this out is in between acts on stage, instead of like the radio coming on or a Spotify playlist, in between. What we want to do with you guys is, if you guys are comfortable with it, the artist that when you're coming off of the stage, come to Mark and I, and we'll have like a microphone there, and we want to get to know you a little bit more.
Kind of like what we do on the podcast here, but in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like however long it takes the next act to get set up, we want to do that. So we're gonna try that out. I mean, if the artist isn't comfortable with doing that, it's perfectly fine.
Yep.
There's going to be no pressure. We want to keep it like a cool, fun environment. As I said before, everybody is expected to respect one another as well as the venue.
Yep.
And then scheduling wise, might take us a few weeks, maybe to a month to get it down packed. We do have some ideas on how to do that differently.
Yeah, right now, the way it's going, there's a book out front or
like a sign-up sheet
somewhere, and a sign-up sheet. You write your name, and that's where you play. I'd like to see that digitally so that you can sign up ahead of time. But we haven't quite figured out the details yet because there are some limitations to that. So it's an idea, again, but that's kind of leaning towards that. We're going to implement that somehow, somewhere.
at some point in time.
Yep.
So if you know that you want to play on a Tuesday night, you can basically go to the open stage page and not submit. What's the word I'm looking? Like, you can register on there. Like, it'll be blocked out like an Excel. Let's say an Excel spreadsheet. You'll see the time that's available, and you can you can sign up for that time slot, and then you're playing at that time. So we're going to try that out, and hopefully that works.
Mm-hmm.
As well as changing the start time. Currently, right now, it's starting at 8 p.m. We're going to bump that up to 7 p.m., you guys. We are like an hour and 20 minutes out of town, so we're coming in at the end of the day every Tuesday, which is fine. We're not complaining. It's not a problem. We want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, we figured if we can start it, a little earlier, we'll start at 7, still run till the existing time, as late as we can. Shit, if we can keep that place bump until 2 a.m. every Tuesday night, that's kind of my goal. I want to do that. I think it'd be dope.
Yeah. Wednesdays are going to be rough, but whatever.
Yeah, Wednesday mornings will be tight. So that's something we're thinking of, as well as we have lined up a house band, you guys. We've talked to a few of you out there if you guys were interested, and it's looking like we've got that lined up. I don't think we're going to start that this month in December. The plan, I believe, is...
the scheduling of the guys is not working out that way.
Yeah, and Christmas is around, so people will be spending time with their families, so that'll probably beginning of the first Tuesday of January. I'm not saying that they're going to be taking over the stage or anything. They're basically going to be there if it's a slower night, right? That way we've got that live music going consistently.
Plus, if you are a solo artist and don't have another instrument other than your voice, you can talk to the band and see if they can give you some background music, and you can rhyme over it.
Yeah, they'll be there to work with you if you want to, if you choose. If not, they're not obligated to do that.
But they're available.
Yeah, they will be there. And so right now we've got a bass player locked in, a drummer locked in. The guitar player currently right now, it's been talked about, that might be interchangeable.
Yep.
So maybe, every 4 or 6 weeks we can get a different guitar player in for the month.
If you're an amazing guitar player and you want to play for, let's say 4 to 6 weeks in a row,
yeah, let us know. We are so open to suggestions and ideas, you guys. We want to work with you all to just make this fun and exciting. It's fun and exciting for us. We want to work with you guys in it. We want to just be the glue that puts the Saskatchewan music scene together. Yeah, for sure. If
Not
you guys
it's broken now.
Yeah, if you guys know us, you clearly know that Mark and I are non-biased when it comes to music and the arts and stuff. And as I said before, the venue is the Capitol, so we need to be respectful for their business. It's a legitimate business. So there are rules there in play that we need to follow as well, and we will do our best there to accommodate everybody. So just to be blunt about it, if you're upset because you have to wait a couple hours to play, doesn't mean that you can't play. It just means that maybe the regular people that are going to the Capitol, that are there at 7 o'clock,
that are paying the bills,
that are paying for us to be able to use that venue for what we're doing, we should maybe put some attention and focus on what they want to hear and stuff at the start. As the night gets later and later, I understand people have to work the next day and stuff, but we all do, you guys. We're all in it together.
Yep.
That being said, does not mean you cannot play. Just means you might not be playing at 7 o'clock. Like I said, we're going to try that online scheduling thing and just see how it works. So we just ask for your patience and the mutual respect until we, let's work together, get it all figured out. And
please don't be like, oh, but last week it was like this. That's because we're trying things.
Yeah, we definitely have a solid idea plan going in. And it might not work. It might work, it might not. If it doesn't, we'll just try something else. Yep. Like I said, we're going to give it an honest effort, an honest go. And we'll see what happens. I'm hoping everybody gets an opportunity to play, and I'm very aware that we cannot please everybody. Yep. Doesn't matter what you do, where you go, there's always somebody who's not going to like the way you're doing things, and that's okay too.
Yep.
The
Capitol is not the only venue in Saskatoon.
That's true. That is true. But we do want as many people and artists as we can get there. So, that made me think too. Another idea that I want to do is that we've talked about and we're working on is possibly every 3 or 4 months we might go live at the Capitol. So maybe there's a night that you can't make it in attendance, but you'll be able to see the sign-up sheet and who's playing, and we'll have some film crews come in there and broadcast it live on like Facebook and YouTube. Yep. And if maybe we can do that every 3 or 4 months,
something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. I think it'll make it more fun and exciting, and I'm excited to do it live or try it out. It could be like a total shit show too. Who knows? But even still, it's gonna be fun, man.
That's entertainment, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
When we flub up because we're live, it's like,
yeah.
Have you heard about our new radio station? It's called Funky Moose Radio, where we play alternative and indie rock, sprinkle in some blues and Americana. We feature the music from our guests on this podcast at least once per hour. These songs can be in any genre. We're working on getting the station on every mobile app available, but the easiest way to listen is at funkymooseradio.ca. You should also become a VIP because we'll be giving away some prizes. Again, check it out at funkymooseradio.ca.
So those are kind of the ideas we're rolling into the open mic, open stage with. I've even thought about changing the name of it. Maybe we should bring back the Long Live Tuesdays or something like that.
Yeah, if you have suggestions, shoot them our way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we have to call it open stage.
But it is an open stage.
Yeah, definitely is.
It could be... Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Let's work together, you guys, and let's make this something fun and exciting. We're very excited to have the opportunity to do it. So that's coming up very, very soon in December here. Maybe in a week or two, we will permanently be there.
Yeah, so thank you to Mitch in particular of the Capitol to give us the opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll try our best to make you proud.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work out,
then it doesn't
and
work
you
out.
Fire us, that's okay too, dude.
We'll still come.
Yeah,
watch
we're
shows.
still gonna be there on Tuesday nights, whether we're hosting it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's new and exciting coming out there. What else do we got? We did keep an eye out, you guys. We were also guests on another podcast that's going to be released this month, very soon.
12 podcasts of Christmas.
That's right, from Prehistoric Productions.
Yep.
So
if you want to hear me speak Dutch, watch that show.
There you go. I had the pleasure of being on it last year. and they asked us to return this year. And what I think my favorite part of it was
meeting Chance.
Yes. So as we were going into the studio to record, they had just finished one with a magician who had just performed in Saskatoon a few weeks back. What's his name again? Chance
the magician.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, buddy. I don't remember your last name, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. He was great. He did this one card trick to me, you guys, where he. Okay, this is how I recall this to happen. It blew my freaking mind.
And then I'll share mine.
You'll share your experience or your view of the trick he did on me.
Well, I can do both.
There you go. Yeah, I thought it was super cool. So he had me pick a card, clearly, and I wrote my name on it. And he folded that card up, put it in the palm of my hand. This isn't on camera, so I can talk about it. This was a behind-the-scenes thing. So I put it in my hand, closed my hand. Then he pulls another card out, wrote his name on it, and
folded it up
and started chewing on it. The whole time that card with my name on it is in my hand. So he's chewing on this card. And then when he pulls it out of his mouth, it was my card, and in my hand was his card. And I have no. It was so freaking gnarly, you guys. It was cool.
You should have seen Joel. You're like, no, no way.
Like, cause I like that kind of stuff. I watched a lot of like Chris Angel and David Blaine and all that street magic, all that kind of thing. And I don't know what he did. I have no idea.
And then the one he did with me was like, he just gave me a random stack of. He was shuffling and he gave me a random stack of cards, and I can tell he didn't count them or anything. It was just, here, hold these. Okay. And I kind of fanned them out to see what it was. Okay, whatever. And he was like going around the room. Hey, Andrew, give me a 4-digit number. And he typed it into his calculator on his phone. I'm like, oh, where's this going? Fran, give me a number. Joel, give me a number. And he was just adding numbers and whatever. And then all of a sudden he kind of tilted it towards me. And I look at the numbers and I was like, wait a minute. I found out the cards, and they're right in order, like the 9, the 2, the 6, whatever was on his screen, I had in my hand in that exact order.
Was the total of all the numbers we were randomly spitting out.
Yeah. So I have a theory on how that works.
Yeah, he just maybe punched in the numbers in order, maybe?
Something like that, and then he just grabbed it from the memory from his calculator, because when I said, oh, when you gave me those cards, I was actually planning to shuffle them. And he kind of gave me that look. He tried to keep a straight face.
But it was a look like don't shuffle him?
But yeah, I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah. Right on. No, he was great. Great guy.
I don't know if that, but he's, yeah.
Yeah, so there's another episode. So I think they do 12 episodes, and he's on one of those. I highly suggest and recommend that you watch that one too.
Yeah.
Great guy. Is he from Saskatoon?
Yes. Did you see that preview that Fran showed us of the recording with him?
No. Oh, maybe where he like pulled the string out of his.
Yeah,
he did that on CTV News too. I shared that clip a little while ago. But anyways, just keep an eye out for that. The 12 podcasts of Christmas will be out this month. That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Today's been crazy. So we were doing another tree lighting. Moosefest is helping organize another tree lighting for our rural community here, and it's been really cold. Very, very cold out there.
What is it now? Is it? My watch says it's minus 19, but that's probably not.
Yeah, it's probably like minus 25, 30 out there. I almost froze my fingers. So the tree is currently planted. This is all by the time you're watching this, it all happened already.
Yeah,
but it's been so damn cold, you guys. I just got the tree in today. I have to go back there as soon as we're done here, and it was like, this is how cold it was, you guys. So it's all like tied up in a mesh, right? 24-foot tree. And I had it in a heated garage overnight so that when I cut the mesh when it's in, the tree, like the branches bloom or whatever, right? Anyways, from the time it took me to get the tree from the garage to in place, which wasn't long, maybe half an hour in total, and I get the mesh out and it's still like all frozen up there. So right now I'm like trying to figure out how to, I hope the sun will warm that up today, but
you're just hoping gravity will do its thing.
I sure hope so. I'll see when this episode's done, but then I thought of going with a tiger torch and just burning it down already.
It's
How's
a tree
that?
lighting,
Yeah,
so
tree
might as
lighting. It might be a day early.
well.
You'll see on the news. So
What's
yeah,
the, what's
we're
the temperature
we're
going to be
dealing
like
with that.
when we light that?
It's
thing?
going to be freaking cold, but
Hmm.
there is going to be a huge fire going on. It's going to be like just plain and simple, you guys. I'm not sure if there's any viewers or listeners in our area here, but
If not, you should, because we're going to have live music.
yeah, there will be live music in the back there. The restaurant is sponsoring some food. They brought some artists in so we can have live music.
For those of you who don't know, the tree will be pretty much next to
To the
next to the
restaurant.
restaurants. Yep.
Just look for the big fire. Last year we had sleigh rides and horses. I didn't announce that or anything. It has been in discussion, and I just told them, it's up to you, man. If it's too cold for the horses to come out, like it's fine. There's no obligation to come out, and I get it.
Yep.
If you can, that's great. If not, it's understandable. So there may have been sleigh rides. Not even sure.
May have been, yeah.
Yeah, because this is all has happened. So yeah, we've been doing that. What else do we got going on here? Here's an idea I thought of too. Is because we've been
This
moving.
is usually where I'm like, oh boy.
Well, no, because we've been doing we typically record the podcasts on Tuesdays, but now the Capital thing is on Tuesdays, so we've been bumping the schedule around a little bit. I was actually thinking of maybe January and February putting a pin in the podcast, maybe. And then keep the ones we've currently got scheduled and still record them. But then if we can bank them up for the next following months, depending on the Capital, I don't know if you think that's a bad idea or what.
I like that we haven't missed a week since.
I know,
since
that's
we
still
started.
pretty gnarly
so if
too.
we
It
start
is
doing that, it's like, we lost a streak.
Yeah, no
You know?
doubt. Okay, we're not going to do that. But I'm just putting a heads up to you guys out there that if we miss a week, that's probably what's happening.
It's not happening.
It won't happen. What else? Oh, so you also started Funky Moose Radio
I did.
this year.
I did.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, so I have a little bit of a background in radio. My dad was a radio guy, and I was hanging out in radio studios a lot of my life. And so I have a kind of a soft spot for radio. Although I realize that it's not dying because it's radio, it won't die. But I do realize that most people are now streaming their music through Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, whatever. That said, there's something about not having to choose music and a service doing the discovery for you. And I think one of the reasons I wanted to start my own radio station is because of that discovery. Because a lot of people discover new music on the radio. So when I started the online radio station, the idea is to upload new releases on a regular scheduled basis as much as possible, so that if you're in your office and you have Funky Moose Radio on in the background, you'll turn it up and think, hey, this is a new one. I haven't heard this one before. Plus, we're also featuring music from the guests that we've had on our podcast. Not everybody has submitted their music, but a lot of them have. So right now it is that at the bottom of each hour, so 12:30, 1:30, whatever, we feature a song from an artist that we've had on the podcast. So that's also a way of discovering new music and getting to know our guests. It's online only. You can listen to it at funkymooseradio.ca. We've also signed up for a bunch of apps that you can stream it on. TuneIn, unfortunately, has very strict rules when it comes to submitting your radio station, and I submitted. It hasn't happened yet, so sorry, we're not on TuneIn yet.
I think you should just get your own app. I truly do. Get your own app, and then it's right there. But I can tell by his face that's not going to happen. But if you agree with me on that, please put it in the comments below. Yeah, what the hell else do we got going on? Dude, this year's been a lot of fun. So not everything is released at this point in time, but I will say that there has been 1, 2, 3 music videos that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of. That's been a blast. And
one of them is releasing
December 9th.
December 9th, so that's this Friday.
Yeah, right on. So yes, this Friday, check out the video from The Hour Hand. Hellbent is the name of the song. That's going to be released on Friday. That was a lot of fun, dude. We did that.
I was there. It was.
If you look real close, there's one like little. As the camera's panning, you'll see Mark in the background there.
Find me. Put it in the description or in the comments. The timestamp where you see me.
I freaking love those guys, man.
Prehistoric Productions.
Yeah, shout out to everybody out there.
Yep.
That.
Yeah,
if you know us, you know who our friends are out there. So
I was going to mention them, but okay, whatever.
Well, go ahead. But I was just going to say we talk about them all the time. So I really hope you guys are like regular watchers and listeners.
We don't talk enough about Kit though.
Kitchener?
Yeah.
No, he's great. He's got a lot of. He's so freaking busy, man.
Yep, his album is done.
Trust me, I know.
How do you know, Joel?
Well, I'm actually he's a good friend of mine. He's a really good friend of mine. I know there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be coming out from Kitchener Langfield. Keep an eye out for that guy. Check him out. Did my tattoo. My Life Rips tattoo here.
He did my ICQ tattoo on my shoulder.
Yeah. So my little shout out to Crystalia out there. Big fan. Big fan. Yeah. So I'm trying to think.
What's in the works? What are we planning for the podcast for next year?
Well, I think...
I know we haven't talked about this, so this is off the cuff.
I think the only plan that I'm aware of is just changing the recording date.
And just keep doing what we're doing. Pretty much.
So for the viewers at home, it won't affect them at all. The release date will still be Monday mornings at 8:30, but I think that's on you and I. Why, what do you got?
We did float the idea of making the episodes shorter, but have 2 of them per week. So, for example, we just talked about The Hour Hand. We have The Hour Hand on the podcast, and we do 2 half-hour episodes, one that releases Monday and one that releases Thursday.
So,
let us know in the comments what you think about that, because
I don't like that idea, but that's all I'm going to say on air about that. I'll tell you why after.
Yeah. Well, there are pros and cons, and I'm just trying to figure out does the pro outweigh the con to do it that way or not?
Well, I'm also, I can tell you off air my thoughts on it, but I think an hour. Yeah, I could say it right now. I just think podcasting. So the difference between podcasting and like radio or news or whatever is that it's a long-form conversation, you guys. For example, if you call in the radio station and you're getting like some little interview, you could ramble on for like 10 minutes describing whatever, and they'll chop that shit up to like
30 seconds.
30, 45 seconds.
Yep.
So all that information is getting lost, and maybe your message didn't get out as you wished. With what we're doing, there's a little bit of editing, like we'll cut some dead air here and there, but you get the full conversation. That's what the difference between podcasting and like radio and TV is.
Yep.
Is that we're legit. It's just genuine and real, you guys. We're talking with you. It's a human interaction. That's legitimate.
I guess.
And I think if we're like, oh, let's do that in half an hour, I feel like there's going to be so much information that's going to be lost. It's cool that we could get them back.
That's not what I said. We're recording with The Hour Hand. We are recording for an hour, but we chop it up in 2 half-hour shows.
And that's what I don't like that.
Okay.
That to me, that's not a podcast. You might as well say we're on fucking TV. Which we're not. That's not a podcast to me.
But I think
that's a different thing.
I think a lot of people see the time of the podcast and think, "Ooh, an hour. I don't have an hour."
Well, then they don't need to listen to it.
But that's a
I
mental
don't
thing.
care.
That's just a mental thing because when you listen to the podcast, you can pause whenever you want.
Yeah.
And listen to
Yeah.
it next day.
And if
or
you
whatever.
if you're 10 minutes in, you don't find it interesting and you shut it off, like I had a great time. So,
Yeah.
like, honest to God, you guys, I love and respect the shit out of all of you, and you guys know that.
But
But
we started this for us.
we're doing it for us. We're doing it so that we can get to know you guys out there. There are little things that we do and like we want to work with the artists and we
Yep.
can contribute and help them out in so many different ways. And that's another reason why we do this show is so that we can find people that we want to work with and have play at Moose Fest and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, we're still just doing it for us and we appreciate you all for joining us on this ride because it's not stopping anytime soon.
Nope.
It's going to be going on for quite some time. So yes, I'm going to say a hard no on doing half-hour episodes.
Well, we'll see what the comments say.
Yeah. Cuz
All-
we get so many comments, you guys.
All one of them.
Yeah. Nolan, I know you're watching, buddy.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Well, we're already past the 40-minute mark, so
Well, and we still got more to talk about, I think. There's other things coming
yeah,
up.
but it's the I mean, for the people that are still listening,
Yeah.
those are probably going to say, "Well, we'll just
It's probably a little bit longer cuz I might have dropped an ad or two in there too.
oh yeah."
You ever wait in anticipation for your song to play on the radio, knowing that it's been requested so many times and you still can't get it on there? Check this out. Go to Funky Moose Radio, to the app, and scroll all the way down and hit the S button for the search engine. Type in the song that you want to listen to. Hey, Kemper! Kemper, come here, buddy. Come here. What's the name of that song that reminds you of My Singing Monsters that you like?
Semi-climactic.
And boom, your song is played. So yeah, go to Funky Moose Radio and request a song. Stay tuned and enjoy.
Don't test me now.
Okay. What else you got?
What else do you got? People out there know who I am, but they don't know what Funky Moose Records is. So why don't you tell us what's going on with Funky Moose Records
Why
here?
don't you tell the people then?
I will tell the people out there that I, Joel Gadet, am not an employee of Funky Moose Records.
Yeah.
Mark and I like to call me the program director.
Yeah.
So
It was the hype guy, but that doesn't look good on.
it doesn't sound that good.
It
but
doesn't look good on business cards, so we made him program.
made me
director.
yeah. So my official title at Funky Moose Records is program director, but I am not on any type of payroll whatsoever.
He's a freelancer.
You betcha. I told this to you the other day. I've got my hands in so many cookie jars. It's like
that text you sent me the other day. I was like, "What is he doing?" And then you said, "Cookie jars, my friend." It's like, oh,
yeah,
got
it's
it.
like what don't I do? But that's not for this show at all. If you guys want to get to know me, just come talk to me, man, and ask me, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But this is about the music and where it's headed, what it's doing, our opinions on it, people that we love and like listening to, all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. I've seen a big change in Saskatchewan music in the last few years, and I'm thinking that reason is because of like we're just in it a little deeper than we used to be 3 years ago, and I
Yeah,
think maybe
and-
that's why I'm seeing some changes, and I'm very I would go
Maybe,
as
yeah.
far as to say as we're a big part in that change, I think. Provincially.
I don't like to.
Toot your own horn.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm not, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I just mean like we've made some amazing connections out there, and
actually. So we're to a point where, I'm in a business meeting that's completely unrelated to to the record store and I drop the name Funky Moose, people go like, "Oh, you're that guy."
Yeah. And what is it?
Yeah. And what do you do exactly?
And what is that again?
Yeah. But to get back to what,
I just think it's been changing for the better.
yeah,
I think there's great stuff coming out of the province here, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
yeah. But to get back to what is Funky Moose Records, Funky Moose Records is the online record store, as I explained before. But there's also a big part of my business is Funky Moose Digital. And no, that's not digital music. That is, I also run a digital marketing agency. So we design websites, landing pages, and social media campaigns, social media ads, ads on Google. And when I started the business, it was focused on small business. You know, you have a small business, a store or whatever, and you need a website for that. I was the guy that would build you a website. But I've been moving that towards more the music industry. So, for example, let's say you release a music video or a single or an album, and you need help getting that promoted online through social media or whatever. That's where we can help you. And that's one of my guys, Adam Hoffert. He is the marketing manager at Funky Moose Digital. So he will do the most of the work. I'm taking care of the Google campaigns, but for example, if you need a plan to get your social media posts out there, he can help you come up with what to say, how to say it, when to say it.
I'm sorry. My train of thought there was going, this episode is like one long ad.
Yeah.
For Funky Moose. Like, I just feel like this is just one big ad.
We should put it in the front. This episode is brought to you by Funky Moose Records.
There you go.
Which-
and I mean, that's okay too. There's a lot of people who ask exactly who we are
Yeah.
and what
So
we
just
do.
to clear that up, what we do, this is my full-time thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask that too. Like, so what else do you do? No, this is what I do.
what's paying the bills.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what else? There was, I added this little cup here that's going to stay here. I freaking love that, dude. So early
You know what?
November.
I haven't even seen it in person.
No?
This is the first time
Check
I
this
see
out.
it. Yeah.
So on
Oh, it's a metal one too. I thought it
so
was
in
plastic.
November,
Oh shit.
there was a show going on at Amigos in Saskatoon that had the Radiant, Weapons, and I'll be honest, I don't remember who the other band was. I'll be dead honest, I can't remember the name. Anyways, that was legit my 40th birthday. And then these guys all surprised me. They had a bunch of t-shirts with my ugly mug on it and said frickin' 40 on it, and they gave me a coffee cup with that too. So there was a bunch of people in that crowd that had my face on their t-shirts, which was that was so much fun, dude. Evan from the Radiant did his whole set with that t-shirt on, and Talus from Weapons, they banged out their set. Even Jordan got the whole freaking crowd to sing me happy birthday. I'm just like, you fucking asshole. But dude, I had so much fun that night. It was a really good time. So this is like, I'm very honored to have this, and I figure that can go right here.
Do you know who initiated all of this?
I'm gonna guess Janelle, my wife, or was it you?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Was it you?
No.
Then I would say Melanie and Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yep.
I love those freaking people. They are a couple crazy cats that we got to meet at Moose Fest, who are fans of the show
You got to meet them.
and what we do. Yeah, you actually met them before that. But really good peeps out there, and they are definitely a part of the Moose family and the herd out there. So I want you guys to know that we love you very, very much. Yeah, so some music videos coming out where yours truly will have little cameos in there. That's going to be fun. There's actually 2 more that are scheduled to be recorded.
So those videos, Joel is obviously in there, but the one with the hour hand, I'm in there too. It's like I said before.
you gotta look to see Mark.
hit the comments.
But yeah, I'll tell you what the other 2 that are supposed to happen are like, dude, it's gonna be, you do not have an official Saskatchewan music video unless yours truly is in it, and it's gonna be so freaking funny, dude. But it's fun. I'm just having fun with it, living my life and enjoying it. Yeah, very good.
That's what we do.
That's what it's all about, man. The community aspect of it. So I don't know if there's any other pressing things. Like you said, we're coming up on close to an hour here. We don't have any guests, so I think we can cut this one short. We're going to be at the open stages on Tuesday nights. Please, you guys, come out. We'd love to get to meet you guys out there.
Yep.
Great artists, great bands. Let's just hone it all in. Let's build that big community there and make the capital our home. I freaking love it.
So with that, we will see you next week.
Oh, I'm going to get you to say that again after I say this. So this week we do not have any guests, but we do have the next couple that we've got coming on. And something I wanted to talk about too is we have the Haleys out of Winnipeg, Manitoba are coming on. I had the pleasure of seeing them perform live last weekend at the Northern Royals show. My God, that was such a fun weekend, dude. Such a good show. So stay tuned for the Haleys coming on, and then we've got a band out of Toronto called Conversation, I believe, are the ones after that. So those
with our friend drummer
Andrew Dyna. Yep. Formerly, yeah, he's like been in a lot of groups, a lot of bands. Amazing drummer. You might know him from, he played with Caitlin Lehner at was that the Labor Day Classic? When Caitlin did the Mosaic Rough Rider thing. Yeah, Andrew was drumming for her. So he's in a band in Toronto, you guys, called Conversation or The Conversation or something like that. Anyways, we'll figure it all out in a convo maybe. They'll be on in a few weeks. So yeah, just stay tuned. Those are a couple teaser guests that we've got that we're going to be hanging out with. Those will be good times.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.